What is up, guys? Nicholas Marcelin here, aka Dire178, and welcome to my Nintendo 3DS XL impressions video. Now, this is not a video for you guys that never even seen a 3DS before. It's more like a video if you have a Vita, or you're trying to get a 3DS, or should I get a 3DS or an XL? Which one should I get? So that's what the video is mostly about. We're comparing the 3DS and my impressions on how I think the 3DS XL works for me. Now, I like to say a short story here. I had a 3DS when it first came out in launch day. And I traded it in very, very shortly, mainly because the lack of games that it had, lots of problems that it had, and I didn't really like it that much. And I'd like to say that the XL fixed that very, very, very much. And of course, it has a great library. Another thing I like to say for you Vita guys out there that looks at my Vita videos is I'm not really transitioning from one console to the other. I'm broadening my channel. Now this is more like a handheld channel, not like just a Vita channel, but I'm gonna have just as much content for the Vita as much as I'm gonna have for the 3DS as well. So if you guys are new, you guys like 3DS, not the Vita that much, you'll see some Vita content. I mean some 3DS content coming to this console, to my channel. I mean, so how do I think the 3DS fares? First things first, let's go ahead and say some differences that it has with from the original 3DS. First things first that you can see mainly is 90% larger screens, and this is very true. The screens are big enough, just perfect viewing. If you can see here, one thing I loved about my Vita was that it was perfect viewing, and it's actually slightly larger. So the Vita is actually much better for movies since it's more widescreen than this is. This is more like a standard, but it works very well. So it's actually a little bit bigger than the Vita screen. So there goes that. One thing I hated about the 3DS, the original one, was the 3D itself. I usually just turn it off completely. But this one actually works a little bit better than the original. And I mainly think because it's the larger screen. The original, you have to be like a robot and look at one area, and that's about it. You can't look at any place else because, well, the 3D illusion was going to be gone. And now it actually fixes that. Since it's a larger screen, it helps a little bit better, and you can actually free your head a little bit. And since this screen is since the screen is bigger, the device is much bigger as well, and it fits perfectly in my hands. Speaking of fitting perfectly in my hands, the original 3DS had like a square angle thing here, and that hurt very badly originally. It used to jab into my hands, and now since it's curved, it's perfect. You can see here that I'm showing some camera footage. The camera's still pretty bad. It's just as good as the Vita. I mean, I don't think you should get any pictures on here. I think it's a little more efficient on this than the Vita. Once the 3D photos, want to show people on 3D. I take photos with that. I never took one photo with the Vita, honestly. I think I take a little bit of photos on here to show off the 3D feature and capabilities I have. Another thing about the 3D is the little switch here. My microphone's here. I want to just show you that. It does like a little snap. As you can see, it snaps and it holds it in place, so I can't accidentally pull it up, which some people do. Like, I don't want to turn this on into my pocket. You can basically just swipe that up in your pocket and whatnot, and then you open it and your eyes hurt or whatnot because you don't want to see the 3D. And that has been fixed. But I can't say the same for the volume rocker. I was playing Super Mario one day in the library, and it was very quiet. And I was playing it, and then I was like, yes. And my hands went up, it swiped up, and the little volume rocker went up as well. And the song was on and whatnot, and people heard it, but not that much because the sound coming out of this thing is not that much. It's very low compared to the Vita here. But I think that's about the same thing for the 3DS if I can remember. Another thing that I fixed about the original 3DS is that the stylus is on the right here, fair to the top, as well as this one piece, solid piece, and it's not like a pull out. For let's just set the mood here to show you what it originally would do. Let's say I'm playing a game that needs this as one analog and using this as a second analog, I guess. You need to pull it out and then like hold this. Mind you, I'm using one hand, so I gotta hold that and then pull out the thing, stylus, and then use it and then push it back in and then put it back in there. When now I can just quickly pull out. Oops, let's try that. Pull it out, there, play, and put it back in. Very quick. Now for you guys that like the Vita, you guys that like power, you guys that like the graphics and whatnot, the 3DS doesn't have bad. Both 3DSs have the same graphics. The resolution on this has not been improved, but they did put a filter on top, like a blur filter that helps that. But it's not that bad actually, and I'm really a graphics guy, and it's not that bad at all. It kind of looks like a Wii. Many people have been saying when I was younger, "Oh, dude, you suck. You got a Wii? Come on, that game's for pussies or not." And I still played it because it was really fun. And that's the same thing for this. It's pretty fun. I'm not saying that it's better than a Vita. I think they're pretty much 50-50. If you like more hardcore games, you play this. And many people that say this is for babies or children is really not. It has some very complex games on here and whatnot. But I wouldn't be playing Resident Evil on here. There's no second analog stick. I'd go to more hardcore games on here. But this is not really made for children. It's made for family-oriented gaming and just made for fun. And not really focusing on visuals here. But they do a very good job on visuals. I love Nintendo on how they make their things so colorful, so playful. And it just gives you a grin whenever you play these games on here. And it's really fun. So, final analysis. This is a very big upgrade compared to the original 3DS. It's not that big of an upgrade with the Vita, but it's a very big upgrade with the 3DS. Of course, we have that matte finish here. Everything's not that reflective. I have a big light on it, as you can see there. And it's not reflecting or anything. It's just doing like a nice glowing thing here. And does a great job in taking some light out, as well as the screen. It's not that reflective as much as the 3DS was. Of course, it is reflective, but it's not that reflective as the 3DS was. And in fact, isn't as reflective as the Vita. So you can see there, you can see like perfectly. From right here, there goes the lights. So as you can see there, and you don't see lights that much. So it does a great job in hiding the reflectivity on here, as well as this not drilling into my hands that much anymore. The headphones jack has been switched here. We have the volume rocker that I'm pretty happy about, but they should have at least put a little clicker here as well. This compartment can actually come out, as well as the battery life being much better than the original 3DS. This bad boy has 4 to 6 hours when the original 3DS had 2 to 4 hours, so that helps a lot. Another thing that this has is, let's see, of course this being moved here, this comes with a 4 GB memory card instead of a 2 gig. This has been slightly improved, and these have been slightly bigger, but same sound coming out overall. So do I recommend this from a 3DS? If you have enough money, sure, go ahead and trade in your 3DS and get the 3DS XL. It's a much bigger improvement. But if you love your original 3DS and you don't really care about it, you got small hands or whatnot, then keep it. If you're going from a PS Vita to this, it really depends on you. I'm not really saying that this is better than this. I'm not saying this is better than that. But I still like my Vita much better than this one. But it kind of varies a little. So there you go. There goes my nice alliances impressions video there. And please rate, comment, subscribe. I'm going to have much more content.